coaching. Like that. TV talk show host. That's me right there. Perfect.
Sonja, what are you doing?
Girl, I'm trying to find something to do. Season 1's ending. I've got to find something else to do.
Okay, first of all, I know we're Generation X, but nobody looks for a job in the newspaper.
Okay.
Get with the program.
Yes, Mother.
Secondly, you know we're coming back for season 2.
That's right. What am I doing with this? You know what time it is. Welcome to Couch Time with Sonja. I'm Sonja Love.
And I'm Delia Cortez.
We are so happy that you've joined us today, but we've got news for you. This is our season finale for season 1.
Can you believe that?
No.
14 weeks. It went by so quickly.
Yes, where did the time go?
Right?
But man, we've had so much fun.
And we've had a chance to know you, and that's been the best part.
Yes, we've had some amazing guests. We've had laughter. We've had bloopers.
I can't wait to share those. Those are going to be so much fun.
I think they're going to crack up as much as we did, right?
We sure do have a good time on set.
Yes, we do. And it's been so wonderful having you as my co-host.
It has been my pleasure.
Thank you. Well, what we have for you is just, we want to highlight our entire season 1. We want you to know what you missed.
Maybe you can go back and catch those episodes on our website if you missed anything, or if you want to watch it again during the off season, catch us at couchtimewithsonya.com and watch some of our past episodes.
We'll be right back.
Thanks for being with us today. We're going to have some fun recapping this season, so be sure to catch up.
Awesome. Do you remember hearing about Legacy?
That was a good series, and it was our very first one, so we had so much fun with that.
It was a great series. It was awesome just talking about our past, our family, and really we are who we are today because of our legacy.
We got to share so much about who we are and why we are this way by having the guests that we had.
So true.
You know, we had your parents.
Yay.
Yes, they shared so much, and she gave us some wonderful wisdom, or she gave the viewers some wisdom. So
I agree.
yeah, I think that we should show them the clip. What do you think?
I think so. Let's watch.
Let's look at that high moral, high ethics, the person that she is. Did you learn that from your parents, from your grandparents? And how important is that today? Are you still sharing that wisdom and imparting that on Sonja and her married life and her children?
I think it's very important. My mom, she raised 7 of us, and it's because my dad died when I was very young, and she always instilled in us the golden rule, which was treat others as you would like to be treated. She always says, never mistreat anyone, because you never know who you might run into in the future. So that was a very important thing for us to learn, to always treat everyone as we want to be treated. And there are some values that I believe that that was handed down to me, like to be honest, to be faithful, to be someone that people would trust, to be obedient, to be teachable, to be patient, which is one of the things that I am still working on, is to be patient, and persistent. And I'm hoping that as a mom to Sonja and Michael, that I was able to pass those things on to them. And I can see persistence definitely in
No
Sonja.
doubt there.
Because even in persistence is good, the Bible tells us in all areas of life, but in a spiritual way, it's very good. And so I can see that in Sonja. She's very persistent, which is a good thing.
Right.
And so, yes, I believe it's very important to pass those ideals and pass those values, especially those core values, down to our children.
Man, Delia, I see sometimes when they were hard that iron sharpens iron. And that was the way that they were sharpening me, was to be tough. And I appreciate even the times that was tough. I love you both.
Well, she keeps saying tough. What does that mean? Were you that tough?
Yeah, I grew up that way, and all the time, just because you've always heard people say, well, just because the other kids are doing it. Mm-hmm. That was kind of my way of thinking. I had to judge, okay, what's this all about? Who's going to be there? What's going on? You know, that type thing. So that's if that was considered tough. Sometimes I said no when I could have said yes. I think about that now. There may have been times when I could have said yes, but I didn't. Maybe the grandkids would get that yes.
Oh, they get the yes now.
My grandkid gets my yes.
That's where the patience come in.
Absolutely.
Now, as grandparents, we have the patience.
That is so true, Mom. That is so true. And I still live by that principle today.
It's a great principle to consider.
I agree with that. And then, of course, think about our husbands who came on the show and joined us on the set.
And the kids?
Yes. Well, how much fun was that?
So much.
We hope that you gathered great information from our spouses being on the set and also our kids, because you got two different perspectives.
Especially that male perspective. You know, with us being two ladies, we think very similarly.
Right.
So it was so nice to have two guys on set who just gave us their view.
True. And then, of course, your grandbaby. How precious was just to know that legacy matters all the way through every generation.
You know, it's that name. He talked about his name and where it came from. It really means a lot to him. It is
Yes.
something that he holds very close to his heart, and it was great that he got to share with the viewers.
It's pretty awesome.
Yes.
And if you have a teen, go back and catch this particular episode, because you might not think that what you're teaching them, they're catching it, but they really are. You'll get the opportunity to hear my daughter, who's a teen, be able to talk about legacy and what it means to her. I'll just tell you, what you do really does matter, and legacy is amazing.
You know, in addition to Beyonce's view and what she shared with the viewers, I love that we had our kids who aren't here necessarily or
Yes.
couldn't be here share some of their views and
Yes.
some nuggets that they left the viewers
That's
with.
a good word, because
Yes.
that's exactly what they left.
Right.
Were nuggets for our
Yes.
viewers. It's so awesome.
As head of household and being the man in your home, what advice would you give to young men today regarding the creation of their financial legacy? When should they start their plan?
As soon as they find employment, I would suggest them to start a savings. Don't live beyond your means, and budget. Set a budget.
It's that word again, Sonja.
I know. That's the word I really don't like. Let's just be honest. I don't like the word budget, but it works, and we need it. But I had to learn that, right, babe?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't do well in the beginning on the budget.
She's still learning, Brad?
She's still learning. She's doing better.
Thanks.
She's gotten better.
Royal, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of creating a financial legacy for your family?
You know, for me, unfortunately, it was the fact that I didn't have anyone that taught me how to establish a financial legacy and how important it was. You know, I grew up in a family that worked really hard just to make ends meet. And what I learned from that was that we lived paycheck to paycheck. And so I felt like I was kind of stuck in that. And so I had to learn, I had to make better choices to, and get a better understanding of what it meant to not just live for the day, but also save and plan for the future. And not just my future, but my family's future. And that was tough because I didn't have that example. So I believe we need to do a better job of making sure that our kids understand how important it is to establish a financial legacy and what it means for them, their future, and for the future of their kids and their families.
I have a question for you, Easton.
Okay.
We have talked lots about legacy and what that means.
Okay.
There's one more piece, and that's all about a name.
Okay.
So can you tell us where your name came from?
Okay. My middle name came from my great grandfather. He fought in World War II. His name was Foster Ray Felton. Down to my dad, named Jason Ray Felton. Down to me, Easton Ray Felton.
I love that. Aren't you very proud of that name?
You are adorable. I heard 3 different generations, Easton. That is pretty amazing. And I'm so proud to know you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. This is exciting. So how would you say that your father and I have actually helped you to understand and learn a little bit about finances and having a financial legacy?
Well, in our household, we have budgets, and we learn how to budget. Y'all give me my own money as well, so I learned how to budget and not spend as much because as a teenager, I go out and I like to spend money, you know. So I think budgeting has really been a key factor in our household as a financial standpoint.
I hope you enjoyed those clips. We had fun watching them again, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
And then there was life. Born to color outside the lines. Born for such a time as this. You showed up on the planet to produce a dream. You, yes you, were born with purpose, with words. Friends, imagine that your dreams can become your reality by the words you speak. It all starts today. It starts with you. Creation, formation, transformation, all begin with change. The battle is in your mind, but your voice is your weapon. Speak life, believe, prosperity, creative, daring. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Your future is unwritten. Let's begin writing today. Your words create your world.
Our next series was self-rejuvenation through self-care. And of course, it's one of my favorite topics because I truly believe in self-care.
One of my favorite was the positive self-talk. You know, that positive affirmation that you should give yourself every day.
Yes.
We need it, don't you think?
You're exactly right. If you missed those positive affirmations, you definitely go back and watch this particular episode because it will definitely show you how to say what you want every day.
And just to remind yourself that you're perfect just the way you are. I kept referring this season to being perfectly imperfect. That's okay. That's you.
I like that. One of my favorite things. Put it up on your wall. Perfectly imperfect. And then we also had, we had special guests during this particular episode.
This is when we started the 45-day challenge.
Yes.
Yes.
Transformation.
Yes. So we had Logan with Loganitis, who was here just A, teaching you how to do some exercises at home, but B, getting us ready for our 45-day challenge. And it's been so much fun and so much hard work.
And the beautiful thing is if you cannot get out of your house to go to a gym, it's okay because Logan showed you exactly what you could do at home in the comforts of your own home and still get the results that you want.
Yeah, you and Sabrina were here doing the exercises. I got to stand in the back and do some food prep. That was so much fun.
Of course, man, that's right. That's your haven.
Yes. So we had Edwin with Everyday Health, who taught us how to make a good, healthy meal to kind of replenish our bodies after that hard workout. If you missed that, you definitely want to watch that. So catch it on our website.
Yes, it was a great series. And of course, as we walk through the series, we want you to see just a few clips from the series as well.
So Sonja, have you heard that quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson? You are what you think.
Yes, I have.
Or perhaps Joyce Meyer, that stinking thinking.
That's a good one.
You know, that's when we take what others think or what we hear and we hold on to it instead of letting it go. Let me give you an example of me. When I was younger, I was really into running and into math. Those were my favorite subjects. There were, things I enjoyed doing. But I had someone tell me that I wasn't really that good at running. And instead of trying to get better, committing to practicing, challenging myself, and getting better, I listened to that stinking thinking. I held on to it, and I gave up my love of running, or at least running competitively.
Right.
Shame on me, right?
Yeah. Well, I have to honestly say, you said something that was really profound. You held on to it, which means you chose to take that in instead of just releasing it. Wow, that was great.
So, it's really up to us. It's up to you to change how you think. Everything is subject to change, but it begins with you. Begins with you, begins with this you.
Yes, very much so. We've been told to practice self-care, but we're not taught how to care for ourselves. We're trained to put others before us, to work 60 hours a week at a full-time job while juggling our volunteer work, juggling school, family, relationships, and the list goes on. Can you relate to what I'm saying?
Where we're overworked, underpaid, and we're constantly working those 12-hour shifts, putting out the fires going on throughout the household, cooking dinner, taking care of those grant proposals that we're working on. We're taking care of our husband, cleaning the house, doing the laundry, putting the kids to bed.
Wow.
Then we're allowed, or we're expected, I should say, to practice self-care.
Really?
A little late in the game, I think.
Yes, I do agree with that. But it's really because we try to decompress from the work grind, but that's not what's going to help us. Honestly, we've got to change our mindset. We have to take that time. Stop trying to justify it and justify why we practice doing what we do. It's really all about a mindset shift, and it's time for us to think about that. Positive affirmation. It begins with your mind, and we have the choice to choose to think the right things.
So let's start with positive affirmation and what that is. So that is the regular flooding of your mind with positive self-talk. That you can do it, I can do it, it can be done, don't give up, you are a good runner or you can be a good runner. So start by declaring truth to yourself, who you want to be. Be in the present tense and tell yourself who you are.
Stepping right, back to the middle, left, back to the middle. Okay, we're gonna go 30 seconds on this, 30 seconds, here we go, ready, set, go, 30, 29, 28, 27. You don't want that butt to come up, keep it low, all right? And we're keeping that midsection tight, okay? Getting it nice and right. Summertime fine, right there, good.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
18, 17, keep moving, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. You got somebody at home?
We got this,
You got
we
somebody
got
at home?
this.
Help you push if you need a little bit more of a challenge. 10, 9, 8, that's it, 7, great job, 6. And here we go in 3, ready, 1, 2, 3, ready, go, 30, 29, 28, 27, that's it, 26, 25. You see she's doing a jumping jack with it, okay?
Go,
That's
Sabrina.
excellent. You want to push yourself, okay? Always try to go outside of that challenge, all right? There you go, 15, 14, get out of that comfort zone. 13, 12, 11, great job. 10, 9, that's it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, great job. 29, that's it. 28, 27, up in the air. There we go. 26, 25, that's it. 24, 23, phenomenal. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, keep going. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, working hard. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. When it's your favorite exercise, you stay on a number. Here we go. 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! That's a great job.
Okay.
Great job. Yes.
We don't sweat. We don't
Yes.
sweat here.
Yes.
We leak awesome.
Yes.
And man, You're awesome.
You're awesome too.
in the kitchen. Today we have Chef Edwin Henderson with Everyday Health that is going to prepare a meal to fuel our bodies after that hard workout. Welcome, Chef. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Taste it. Let's begin, Chef.
All right, so let's get this started. All right, so what we're going to have taking place right now is we're going to start chopping the Brussels sprouts. So I'll actually have you
Okay, let me start
basically
that.
mimic me, and we're going to cut the backside of the Brussels sprouts. Basically saute the Brussels sprouts down, and we're going to throw in the cherry tomatoes and the onions, and we also have some mushrooms that we're going to saute as well. So once all of that gels together, then we'll be able to throw in the shrimp and the noodles and the sauce, and then you'll start seeing the masterpiece take form at that point. So when I start off typically in the kitchen, which I did not do just now, but we actually have to start it, is I normally light a candle. So have a candle here, kind of sets the mood, because I always look at when you're cooking, it's a labor of love. And that labor of love is expressed through the preparation. When you think about the conversation that we're having right now, and being able to sit here and talk, gives you an opportunity to be able to get to know the individual that you're cooking with. If you're doing it at home with family, it gives you an opportunity to be able to find out what's going on in their lives. And we'll throw some fresh cilantro on there, and then that'll be your dish.
Cilantro is just so, the smell is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's fresh and crisp.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things, and my husband hates it.
Really, and I ran into somebody yesterday that told me that they can't stand cilantro, and I looked at him like, "What's wrong with you?"
You know, he has
All right. So we have here now, we have our completed dish, and I guess one of the things is now once you get it on the plate is making it presentable and cleaning it off, and throw that cilantro there, and we have.
It just looks so appealing, and it smells wonderful.
And it tastes even better.
We go out into the schools, primarily elementary schools, and we offer dynamic presentation for the kids to where we teach them how to recognize what bullying is, because it's terrible. Bullying has always been around, but it's a much nastier thing these days.
Yes.
We're a middle school demographic that have come in, and we've taken them under our wings and turned it less from an instructional thing and more into a mentorship program, to where we, if they have questions with their grades, they can come in and we'll tutor them. If they're having an issue at home, they can come talk to us. It's a humbling experience having a 16-year-old kid. He's not middle school, but having a 16-year-old kid knock on your door and say, hey, coach, can I talk to you for a minute? And literally almost break down in tears and open up about something that's going on in his life. So first and foremost, when it comes to self-defense, more than anything, it's how you carry yourself. Number one, we want to make sure that we're always hyper aware of what's around us. I'm guilty of it just as much as the next person. I'm walking in my car and I'm on my phone like this, and I'm absolutely not paying attention to anything around me. That's probably when you're ripe for the picking at that point. Number two, make sure you know where you're parking, especially if you're with your kids. Well-lit areas, like if you park at one place and it's daytime outside, or when you come out, is it going to be night? Is there well-lit? Carry yourself like you know what you're doing. Somebody that walks tall with their shoulders back and their chin up, they're much less likely to be victimized by any of this stuff, because people like that prey on the weak. And if you carry yourself as a confident individual, you're less likely to be. And she's going to step all the way around behind, just like so. And you see how she's kind of basing her leg right behind mine? And because of that step, her arms are free. She's going to grab the back of both of my legs. And at this point, she's going to lift as she postures up. So we come up behind, drops, up, back.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You see, my co-host is strong. Don't you mess with her. You okay, Jason?
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Perfectly okay.
And those were great clips. But you know what? I really enjoyed Jason, which I'm going to make sure I get the right name, Master Felton.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, from Rise, MMA and Fitness. He was amazing. Just his heart and his compassion, that his care for the community was amazing. And then to learn, wow, self-defense.
Well, I got, that this is my son-in-law. I got to take a moment and throw him around the set. That was a lot of fun. But I have to say, my absolute favorite part of this series was when I got to interview our very own Sonja Lowe, the Embrace Coach. That episode is something you want to watch. This is where I got to ask Sonja some good questions, and she shared wonderful information with me and with you.
Thank you. I hope that it was valuable to our viewers and they took great nuggets away from it.
Yeah, that had more than just nuggets. So again, if you want to catch that, go to our website. It's couchtimewithsonya.com, and it is our self-rejuvenation series.
And there's more. So grab your, you know what we say, your favorite drink, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. I am not Sonia Lowe, but I am Sabrina Golden, your networking reporter from Golden Opportunities.
And I am not Delia Cortez. I'm Fred Vernon, CEO and founder of KLV Ventures. And in season 2, I will be hosting the Entrepreneur's Corner. And I really hope you guys enjoyed season 1, but season 2 is going to be way better. We're going to be discussing topics such as how to raise capital, how to build your business, and some of the issues that you're going to face along the journey of being an entrepreneur. So I hope you guys join in season 2. It's going to be fire. I promise you we won't let you down. So Sabrina, what are you going to be talking about in season 2?
Well, Fred, I'll be bringing to you the hottest networking events in and around Houston. I'll be bringing the hosts so they can tell you more about it.
Connect with fellow millennials, creatives, professionals, and entrepreneurs within the all-new millennial community. Join in and get connected with local events, volunteer opportunities, and mentorship programs with the next generation. For more information, visit themillennialcommunity.com and become a member today. Membership includes access to special events, networking events, and civic engagement opportunities. Check out our online calendar for upcoming event opportunities, such as Millennial Think Tanks, community building events, the new Sea Live experience, and much more. Members will also be invited to join an online membership group, have opportunities to pair with local students in the Houston community for mentorship programs. Follow us on all social media platforms and get connected with the millennial community today.
We're back.
The real us.
Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to their segments.
You know, both Sabrina and Fred are fantastic. So I know you want to watch them. I do too.
It's going to be great information for you. And then, gosh, we have another series that we were talking, Love.
And this was our longest running series because we said there was so much to cover. And even then, we would have just seen the tip of the iceberg.
We didn't even finish everything we would have loved to talk about.
Yes. Did you catch those? Did you watch them? If you didn't, catch them on our website because they were truly so much fun.
Well, we had in that particular, talking about the love of entrepreneurship with Fred Vernon.
Yes.
And man, he gave amazing nuggets. If you're an entrepreneur out there, you definitely want to go watch. And you want to make sure to write them down because he gave valuable information that's going to help you in your business.
And even better than that, he's coming back next season with more information for those entrepreneurs out there.
Yes. And then we also had the OEs.
My goodness. Theirs was so long and so good that we had to add their longer piece to our YouTube page, right?
That's exactly right.
There was so much we couldn't fit in the episode. So that's one you definitely want to watch.
Yes.
They had so much for you that we ran out of time on set that we added it to our YouTube page. So you want to watch that one for sure.
So you can go to Couch Time with Sonya on YouTube and catch their entire segment. For 1 hour, they shared on love, and they shared on the importance of marriage and the importance of really love languages, learning each other.
And their story of how they met. So cute. What did he say, 7 sisters?
Yes, 7 sisters.
Yes.
But you remember the
Yes.
question in the beginning? Said, did you, he asked her something in reference to, did you know that we were going to get together? And she got honest, no, didn't know at all.
Oh no, my favorite was when he said, how did my end up in yours?
That was cute.
Yes, very cute.
Like he didn't know, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Playing the part, right?
You're exactly right.
And then I think our other one was the millennial love
Yes.
perspective from Crystal and
Tony
Holmes. Yes.
That was good.
Yes. So for millennials out there, another piece you definitely want to watch. They were giving us their perspective on love today in these days and times where everything is on social media.
Yes.
Everything is out there. There's very little that's kept back. So it was nice to hear that younger perspective.
It was. And what was so awesome is they gave amazing information, and they kind of dispelled all these myths. Yes. We hear so many myths about millennials and how they think and what they believe in. But you know what? You need to go catch it, because you're going to realize it's not everything that people are saying.
Yeah, it was so cute to see that they were talking about the millennial perspective, but to see the love between them,
yes.
and they're in their newlywed stage too,
Yes.
so it's just lovely to spend time with them.
It was awesome. They were great. So make sure to catch that show. But we want to show you some clips. You need to really look at some of the clips that were amazing. Just watch.
Say just 3 words. 3 words that wrap up who you are. Could you do it? What are they?
So I would say passion. I would say love, and I would say hopeful. Just hope, and I really think that as coming from a city like Port Arthur, where people may often like look down on you coming from a smaller city, or people may think that people with vision and drive aren't necessarily coming out of that area. I feel like those 3 things, everything that I've been able to accomplish with my team and the people around me, I think I could sum my life up in those few words. And I think hope by far, and love, passion, those things are really the ones that kind of embody everything it's taken to get here today. And I'm like, man, what now? What now?
So let me go back. So you lost the first opportunity, got another one, and then were fired from that 90 days later?
Yes, ma'am.
But you didn't give up.
Did not give up. And just to kind of, that place I was in, I'm not going to say it was a dark place. To me, I think for anybody who's determined, that's a beautiful place to be, because, I mean, when you're in a situation where you have to fight, when you have to strive, you have to go for it, you are more prone to success than ever, because your mind is open, your heart is stirred, you're passionate. I mean, if you've got children or you got a family and your back is against the wall, you're going to fight harder than you ever fought in your entire life.
So true.
So to me, that was the best place to possibly be. And, and I want people to understand that by the time August came here, I had to put myself in a position. I knew the risk that I was taking with starting this business. I knew the risk associated with that and the possibility for doing less than being successful. So in August, I made some sacrifice, hired and trained the folks, and I actually started a free CDO school in my community, so we could stop the from high school to pipeline to the jailhouse.
Good point there. Good point there.
Absolutely,
You became a conduit.
That's right.
Although you walked through that moment, you came out of that moment,
Absolutely.
and now you've become a conduit.
Absolutely.
Just
absolutely
powerful.
Thank you.
And all of this at age
29.
You're such a young man. I can't wait to hear what you do over the next 10 years.
Thank you. Why? You've got to dig deep, and you've got to look for the reason why you want to be an entrepreneur in the first place. The reason why you desire to start this journey. It has to be something deep. It can't just be because, oh, I want to make money, or I've got a great idea. That's fine. A lot of people are going to have that, and some people may succeed with that type of mentality. However, if you have a specific heartfelt why, that is going to increase your chances of being successful by 10, 15, 20-fold. And what I mean by why is, if you sit down right now and you close your eyes and you think about the reason you wake up in the morning, what drives you? What makes you passionate? What gets you fired up when you think about it? That's your why. That's your reason for getting out there every day and getting on the grind.
Then that can kick in. But the beautiful thing in terms of how I balance ministry, I think is in terms of understanding that you are a helpmate. And it's very difficult in terms of being able to get that clear, you know, because a lot of men will see it as a kind of a competition, you know, but the truth is, as to piggyback as to, you know, how we met, and is it love at first sight? I mean, as I said, it was destiny in the mix, because you were there in that prayer group, and I was there facilitating the prayer. Now, looking at your ministry in terms of prayer.
Ministry. The bottom line, everything begins with God and ends with God. The career is what God gives to us. I remember some time ago, I look back at my job history, everywhere I've worked, and I realized that lives have been changed on my job, whether it was in the hospital or in the classroom. I'm not talking of just the students or the nurses. I'm talking of the VP or presidents of corporations coming to know the Lord. And I began to ask the Lord, why do you send me to all these places? The Lord said, because your career is a secular ministry. That's the first time I will heard something like that.
Whatever we want to do for the church, it has to come from the mind of God. You know, I mean, God has really destroyed that self-egocentric, you know, ambitious, you know, trying to do this, you know, like the Joneses, you know, do what T.D. Jakes is doing, do what Creflo Dollar is doing, do what this is doing. You know, really come to really understand what has God called one to do.
Amen.
And I mean, God has given us an awesome ministry, you know, both nationally and internationally. You know, ministry is just like what Jesus told the disciples, you know, in Acts 1:8. He said, and you shall receive power after the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and you shall be witnesses unto me in Jerusalem, in Judea, in Samaria, and to the uttermost part of the earth. You know, so that is how we've seen our ministry, that we have Jerusalem, and so we're called to plant churches, no doubt about it. We have the calling to plant churches, and as long as God gives us that ability, the strength and the finance, we'll keep planting churches. Comes from the heart of God. True love comes from the heart of God. Marriage or any relationship is an institution ordained by God. All right? It's not something that can be legislated. God ordained relationship. God ordained marriage. He told Adam and Eve, all right, if you look at Genesis 2:24, it says, now Adam said, now this is the bone of my bone. This is the two of you together to really complement one another. And it's important that you understand that. And finally, you have to pray for each other. You have to pray for each other. Marriage is a battle. Satan, I'm telling you this, his objective is to destroy your marriage, is to attack your husband, is to attack your wife, is to attack any of you at any point in time. And I'm telling you this, in the heat of the battle, the Bible said two are better than one. Two are better than one. It's important that you really battle in prayer for each other.
In the middle of our engagement season.
In the middle of our engagement, yeah.
I think that's actually beautiful, because that also dispels one of the myths that we hear, is that not loyal. And I choose to differ.
Yeah.
I see loyalty. You were so loyal to her, committed to her, and you were engaged, but you knew her heart, her desires, her passions, and you supported. And that's beautiful, and I commend you.
Thank you.
I commend you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So, traditionally, you asked her to marry you, or did you ask him?
Oh,
yeah. I had to do the whole situation. Me and her dad have a great relationship.
Look, and that was one. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I told him. I said, my dad. I was like, you have to ask him. Like I was like, because you know, like you said, it's like things are different. Things have changed, but it's like I grew up traditionally, and like that's what I was taught in the home, and even like with my dad, like saying that even still, like he didn't have to tell me like make sure Tony, like he didn't say any of that. It was kind of like he knew I knew, and I understood, and I respect him,
right.
you know, for the man that he is, and of course as my father, and you know, and it's like I knew he took a liking to Tony because it's just like, oh my gosh, like he asked about him. When he asked about him, I was like, oh.
Then you
like,
knew,
so,
right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is okay. Like he's okay with him. Like, you know, that's really good. And was like we never did a quiet. You know how people did silent treatment. We didn't have that. We talk about everything. If there's an issue or if there's something that we're on a disagreement about, even if we need to pause a moment, we'll take that pause.
Good.
But
That's
for the
good
most
right
part, we'll talk about it. It's like we're not going to dismiss what just happened. It's like let's address it and figure out what we're going to do, you know, moving forward. And we come to
we have different
agreement.
communication styles too. I'm very analytical, so I'll say, okay, can I bring you over here to the whiteboard and let me show you what I'm thinking, and I like break it all the way down. Fine, I guess I get. So you got to figure out what works for you, though.
That is so true.
Yeah, we found our love languages, I guess. So.
That's so awesome.
You know, those were some of my favorite pieces of this show. If you missed them, go back and watch them. We're going to take a quick break, but we're not done yet. So come back to us.
How do you define freedom? Is it health? The ability to call a board-certified physician 24/7, 365 days a year. The ability to eliminate all future copays. Is it wealth? Cut your years to mortgage payoff by more than half and save hundreds and thousands in interest on mortgage, car, and other loans. Is it the gift of college scholarships for every child? Earn guaranteed scholarships at more than 360 private colleges and universities in 45 states. Or simply, abundance, time freedom, the perfect opportunity at the right time. It's all of these and so much more. We are looking for leaders, and freedom is calling. Join the Trivesta movement.
Welcome back. We told you that there's just a little bit more. Wow, I'll tell you, continuing in our love series, we actually had the 5 love languages, which was a great series.
Now, if you don't know your love language, that's an episode you want to catch up on. It's really nice to know what your love language is, but more importantly, what's the love language of the loved ones in your life?
Yes, and matter of fact, you know, tell you, what's your love language?
My love language is acts of service. And yours?
And mine is quality time. And so it's so awesome when you know what your love language is. It's just nothing like it. But we had a special guest that was on with us during that series, and that is Miss Charnel Brown, a.k.a. Kimberly Reese, from a different world. What an amazing time to sit and just chat with her.
Well, she is such a joy. She is truly someone who exudes joy in her voice and her persona. Everything about her is just joyous.
Yes, and you know what? We got the opportunity to help her learn her love language.
Yes, it was something she hadn't learned prior to the show, so that was pretty neat.
That was pretty cool. And so we also had Kim McQuitty. Wow.
Yes, and Kim McQuitty. If you missed that, you definitely want to watch that. She gave us so much information from the perspective of a newlywed, someone who's been wed a while, a widow, currently single and ready to mingle.
That's right.
Don't tell her I said that. She would be so mad at me. But you would enjoy it. She just truly has so much knowledge to share with you. She has her book, new book coming out, Unsave the Date, coming out this summer. She has a previous book. And then for those that are looking to be married or newly married, check out her Wife Ready Boot Camp. Just some great information for you. And then our very last guest in the series was?
That was Blended Families. Oh, yes. That was Crystal and Marcus Holmes.
A second Crystal Holmes?
Yes, a second Crystal Holmes.
They just spell their names differently.
Yes.
So it's not the same girl.
Not the same
All
one.
right, just making sure.
But what was so great about that is talking about love in a blended family. We know many of you may have blended families. We're blended
Right.
as well. But what we learned speaking with them is that blended takes on many definitions.
Yeah.
So you want to definitely catch that series.
Should I tell them why we're talking about that?
No.
No?
Let's watch it.
All right.
Today. You know, Delia, it's a different world.
It sure is.
Well, our special guest is probably where you might remember her, Miss Charnel Brown.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys. We're so excited that you have joined us on the set
Thank
today.
you for having me. Thank you for having me.
It is just, man, from then, my gosh, so amazing to know from then to now.
To now. Yeah.
You know, I hear that there's some amazing things going on in your life.
There is. Actually, I have to say, I'm a Houstonian. Yay.
Yay.
I love Houston. And really briefly, God told me to come many years ago, back in 2000, to take care of you. Yeah. And this is what was in my heart to do. And it was about, you know, this wonderful family. And God tests them, because God always tests them. He tests us for our strength, to see how wise we are. And if we do have faith in Him. Because we talk a mean game about faith.
Right.
We always do. You know, faith, you just have faith. Just have faith. But when it hits you, you know, it goes out the window.
Right.
Yes.
You know, and it's happened to me many times, you know, that I would tell people have faith, and then God would hit me with it. And so I wanted to write something like that. What do you do when your faith is tested? What do you do with every...
We've kind of, just from talking to you and getting to know you, we kind of pegged that we might know what your top one is. But we're going to ask you and see what you say first.
What's my top one?
What would you say out of those 5 is the way that you express love?
Express love. Okay, give me the first one again.
Words of affirmation.
Okay.
Acts of service. Gifts. Quality time. And touch. It's the way you feel loved if this is done.
Okay, I would say touch.
We said that, yes. That's exactly what we picked.
Yeah.
And just now that you've heard them, doesn't it make you want to assess your friends, your family?
It does. I'm going to, like I have an acting school, I'm going to do it Saturday and see what they're, you know, where they are. Because I think it's very similar to what we do. Stanislavski is our, you know, method of acting. And it's very much like that you wait and listen to someone for 15 minutes, because actors, we talk a lot. You know, and it's all about us, to be honest. But, you know, take the time really to listen to somebody for 15 minutes. You'll know exactly what they're about.
I'm thinking, go on the road one day. You know, I would hear that echoing in our little one-bedroom apartment back in the 80s. I'm thinking, going on the road one day, like as in driving to church, going to church, playing the drums, and coming back home. Because I didn't understand what that looked like or what that meant.
Right.
Well, little did I know, 8 years into our marriage, he was given that opportunity to do that. And it shook my world. I'm thinking, this isn't what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for to be single and parenting alone and being married and by myself most of the time. So I kind of shut down. I wasn't supportive of the idea. I'm thinking, this isn't what I thought we were going to do. We were going to be, this is a team. You know, we can't be a team where we're separated. So I fought the idea for like 4 years. 4 years, my husband traveled the world, and I was at home licking my wounds because I did not want to be the wife who stayed home, or was at home with 2 kids by myself. I'm thinking, we're married, we're supposed to be together. But the lack of communication came in because I never sought God about what His idea was for my relationship.
That's
for
good.
my marriage. When God spoke to my heart and told me to do that, it's just something, just the weight just lifted off of me, my eye, the fog began to lift, and I began to see my purpose. And I knew there were other musicians' wives that were probably struggling with the call on their husband's life, because it's a very unique call. It's a very different call. It's something that you have to have a lot of patience with, because it's the unconditional, it's unconventional, it's not the same norm, you know, it's not the expectation. It's the sporadic income.
Right.
You know, after every gig, musicians are unemployed.
Right.
For the most part, they're
That's
waiting
true.
for the next gig unless they're paid with a chart-topping artist, which my husband did at the time. But that opened up more doors and more doors and more doors. And vision retreat and about our marriage and our relationship. So what are your can't stands and your must-haves? And when you're dating someone, you're kind of segueing the conversation around those things that you know in your heart that you can't stand or you must have. Right. You can eliminate all these characters right off the bat without having to go past the time of spending a whole lot of time getting all emotionally involved in it. And what I do know about finding the right one, being the right one, and attracting the right one, that the counterfeit usually comes before the real. The enemy knows what you want.
Yes, yes.
He heard the counterfeit.
We need to drop 12 mics so bad, you know?
The counterfeit comes before.
So I think what we had to do very quickly, Chris established a framework, and I had to realize I'm the guy coming in, right? Her and Camille had been together, of course, from day 0 of Camille, and she was 7 when we got married. Is that correct, Chris?
She turned 7, so she was 6.
She was 6. I knew that I was the odd man out, right? And I didn't want to just come in there, bull in the china shop and just say, this is what we need to do. So initially, that was hard, right? Because again, we had great counselors, great marital, premarital counseling, but nothing on blended families. Camille was going to a public school. She was hearing some things, and Chris was like, yeah, you're going to talk to her about sex. We're going to talk to her about it, and I need you to lead the discussion. And we talked about it.
We're going to do it side by side, and it's not going to be you
She's
take her over there.
Right. Yeah. She's not going to hear it, in some bathroom amongst, young girls or, and I still remember to this day.
We took a chair, put it in the middle of the room, and said, okay, now sit in that chair. And Marcus says, now this is what everybody is going to see behind you if your jeans aren't right. I mean, we're talking. We're having, and we're going shopping together. I'm thankful for Marcus, that we would go back to school shopping, and he was a part. And I can remember Camille, Daddy, what do you think, about this? Well, Daddy, why not? Well, and it was really, and so that's when he started saying, it seemed like she was talking to him more. But with God, yes, to me, I would always clown and say, oh, she doesn't ever talk to me. But really what the Lord started showing me is that this is the moment in time where you want this seed that he's about to plant in her heart to be able to take root. Right. So what I did was I was beginning to step back, and I realized that season lasted for quite a while. It was maybe about, really I think of a window of between 13 and 17.
The one thing that I would say, if I could leave one nugget, is the 6 priorities of a successful blended family. All right, you first start off with Jesus Christ. If Jesus is not the head of your family, your marriage, it's not going to work, plain and simple. And so Jesus needs to be first and foremost in my life. He needs to be first and foremost in Christ. Secondly, it is my spouse then. Camille knew, Major knows at age 7. Major gets a little jealous when he sees me giving a little kiss to his mom, and I know it's funny, but I'll tell Major, and I'm getting him ready now. Major, that's my wife. Thirdly, then it comes family. Major, Camille, I'll do anything for them. After my wife, after Christ. And they know that, right? So it's that in that priority. Then comes work, right? Then comes the career. Now, Sonja, Delia, see, this is where I had it messed up and where I caused great stress on our relationship, our blended family early on, is I was given so much time to being a volunteer at my church.
That's good.
That I was losing my children. And even within that dynamic of family, it's kids and then extended family. And then after that, then it's the community. It's your church, serving in your church, serving your community. And then, and I'm sorry, actually after family, it's work. I'm sorry. After family, it's work, and here's why. The church can't be supported if you don't have a job. Right? The church lives, this is Bible, off of tithes and offering.
Come on.
Right? So let me be very clear. After family, it's work. Then you help the community. And everything else after that falters. It falls after that. So.
You know what? That was great clips. But there's some great information Delia's going to share with you.
So again, we had so much fun this season. But two of the things that we didn't share with you in clips, we want to share with you now. So if you recall, during our Love series, we talked about our movement, our So Loved movement, #SoLoved. Check it out on our website, and that didn't end with the season. So let's keep it going. It means so much to Sonja and I, and we want it to mean a lot to you too. Second thing we did, we had fun giving things away. We gave away prize packs. We were able to share with you, our viewers. We may share some of those pictures on our website.
Yes.
So they can see themselves.
Yes, would love that.
And then before, in the previous segment, we mentioned our good news coming up about season 2. She is going to tell you all about that.
I am so excited. Remember, if you've watched during season 1, you don't want to miss season 2 because it is going to be, as the kids say, lit. What's so awesome is that we are having a live recording. Yes, we said live recording at the Charles Bender Theater in Humble, Texas, August the 2nd. Begins at 5:30 p.m. There is so many activities wrapped around this particular event. It will be a networking event for the community. We will also have breakout classes and sessions for entrepreneurs, and then the doors will open for a live recording. That means you, our audience, get to be a part of the live taping. You get to be on TV with us. Come and join us. So save the date, August the 2nd, 2018, 5:30 p.m. at the Charles Bender Theater. If you missed it, don't worry. We will have it on the website. So go to couchtimewithsonya.com. Follow us on all our social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, and then on YouTube. We do have our own YouTube channel as well. So go find us, Couch Time with Sonja. Season 2 is going to be amazing, all with you in mind. Delia and I, we love you, and you are so loved. Remember that, and we'll catch you next season.
Today, we are going to have some fun recapping the season. You're going to enjoy this, and if you don't, too bad.
Our next series was self-rejuvenation through...
Ready?
Let me help you.
Join us on the couch.
And we ad-libbed that one.
Yeah. And
It's Couch Time with Sonja. It's Couch Time with Sonja.
I said it's couch time.
I also urge you to tune in this week to our Facebook page.
FaceTime.
Okay. I should have typed that in there. Ramsey, I should have typed it. You say FaceTime. Ramsey, can you type? Oh, that'd be cute. Is that right?
No, but it's okay. You're having fun with it. That's what matters. So what do you think of that? I told you my stomach. My stomach's making all kinds of noise. My stomach went. You all might recognize her. If you don't, she starred as Kimberly in Different Strokes. No,
A Different World.
scratch that.
I
I
knew
knew
that,
that.
though.
I knew that.
She knew.
I knew that. Oh, that would have been precious.
Oh, that was adorable.
What?
You didn't see his face?
Como tu estás?
Como tu You're welcome.
Sabrina Golden, your networking reporter. And we're gonna